everyone. It's another episode of the News Review on Unilag TV. In the hallowed halls of academia, a silent crisis is unfolding, casting a shadow over the quality of higher education. Universities worldwide are grappling with a severe shortage of lecturers, a crisis worsened by the dual challenges of brain drain and the controversial introduction of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System (IPPIS). The Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU) attributes this dearth of faculty members to the pervasive brain drain phenomenon and the contentious IPPIS. At Usmanu Danfodio University in Sokoto State, ASU reports the departure of approximately 100 lecturers. Meanwhile, the Federal University in Gusau, Zamfara State, grapples with the pressing need for 1,000 lecturers to address existing vacancies. The Federal University of Agriculture in Abeokuta, Ogun State, faces over 350 academic vacancies, and the University of Lagos witnesses the departure of 27 lecturers from two faculties. Similarly, the University of Uyo laments the loss of 100 lecturers who have ventured abroad. The University of Ilorin in Kwara State contends with a staggering 500 academic vacancies, while at the Olusegun Agago University of Science and Technology, both academic and non-teaching staff are departing the country, contributing to this escalating crisis. Now, to shed more light on today's discussion, with me live in the studio is the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Lagos branch. But you get to meet him right after this break. I am Vina Peters. We'll be right back. All right. Wrong and outdated educational policies in connivance with poor implementation of these same policies have opened several potholes in our educational system. Insufficient government funding and lack of competent teachers have also been attributed to the bane of Nigeria's educational challenges. Coming soon on Unilag TV News Review is the New Nigeria Cycle, a series that would herald the rejuvenation of a new Nigeria through institutions of higher learning, championed by Nigerians in the diaspora in conjunction with the African Heritage Foundation.
Without integrity, nothing works. And that's what we need in our leadership.
Join Ambassador Tunde Adetunji and myself as we discuss issues surrounding education and politics in Nigeria on the New Nigeria Cycle series airing on Unilag TV. Welcome back. It's Student News Review on Unilag TV. Do follow us across all social media platforms at Unilag on TV for more episodes. Earlier, I said we will be speaking with the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Lagos branch, Professor Kayode Adebayo of the Department of Architecture. Welcome to the program, Prof.
Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon, viewers.
Yeah, good afternoon. Okay, now ASU has attributed the departure of lecturers to brain drain and IPPIS. So please, can you explain that to us?
Okay, let me make maybe a little clarification here.
Okay.
The departure of lecturers, or maybe I should use the new terminology now, the Japa syndrome of lecturers is mainly attributed to about what I would rather describe as two main factors. One of which is the condition of where they deliver their services, the level of infrastructure, the care available. That alone accounts for demoralization. That is one. The second one is the emolument of this lecturer. They are poorly paid. Lecturers in Nigeria are the most, in fact, the poorest all over the world in terms of remuneration. Okay? It's like lecturers in Nigeria are not regarded as people of importance. Lecturers in Nigeria cannot be compared to someone who is maybe, would I call them honorable at local government council. So, with that disdain attitude of governments toward the lecturers, especially the young ones, they are frustrated. They need to take care of their life. They need to take care of their family. Of course, the moment there's an available opportunity, they jump out. Even if there's no opportunity, they try to go and seek opportunity elsewhere. So the unfulfilled promise of government about salaries, about condition of service are so frustrating. The insult on the lecturers, as if to say they are just second-class citizens in their country. That is, those two major things are the main reason why I think, especially the young lecturers, they are just departing the country. And if we are not careful, this is just a beginning of what to come.
Okay, now you've only nailed the Japa syndrome. Now talk to us about IPPIS. Why is that also a factor?
Yes, the IPPIS, I would say, well, I put it really as a factor, but let me try to clarify issue on IPPIS. IPPIS is one of no-shop platform imposed on the academia by the government, under the control, by the advice of World Bank and IMF, forcing things they want on the developing countries. Of course, without succumbing to that, they might not be able to borrow money. Right from day one that IPPIS was mentioned, Academic Staff Union of University told federal government that this is a fraud. This cannot work within the university system because it does not capture this. The so-called is an Excel program, as primitive as it could be, as corrupt as it may be, that it does not even understand the Nigerian university system. So it cannot work. Say, for example, a university lecturer, we work in a system called Universal. So as a lecturer, there is nothing stopping me from moving from this place to UK for sabbatical, or moving from here to UI for sabbatical. And when you are on sabbatical, of course, the system is such that my salary goes on. It's a fundamental academic principle.
Okay.
So it is required really that you must be able to proceed on sabbatical regularly for exchange of ideas, to know what are available in other institutions. So it's a rigorous thing. You apply for it, you are processed for it. Okay? Now, that primitive program called IPPIS did not know anything called sabbatical. Instead, they believe that means you will be receiving salary in two universities. Whereas actually, once you are on sabbatical, yes, your university will pay you because it is like they sent you purposely. So you are on an errand. And that's why when you come back from sabbatical, you must give report. The university council must approve that you have been allowed to proceed on sabbatical. So you are receiving your salary here. When you get to the other university, they also absorb you. You will go through the academic process. You are absorbed, and of course, that university will also pay you. It is universal. It is not something peculiar to Nigeria. That is the academia. And it is not only now even the academic, the non-teaching staff also goes on sabbatical. But the IPPS, and again I say that primitive program called IPPS does not recognize that and many other things. And so the IPPIS thing again is a violation of the university autonomy. The Autonomy Act of the university vested the power, the financial power of the university, how to run the university on University Council. So, imposition of IPPIS is a violation of existing University Autonomous Act as amended in 2003.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, of course, when you put all these things, frustration together, IPPI started deducting whatever it likes from our salary. In fact, you might not even get the salary. So there are a lot of complications. People cannot get their promotion arrears for 2 years. Even in some cases, more than that. Why? IPPIs. So the frustration are many. Of course, looking at it from that window, it could also, why should I be frustrated? If I have another opportunity, why don't I go? That is where IPPS comes in.
Okay. Now, with all these factors in mind, what is ASU doing as regards the fact that, okay, you know that these are challenges. Okay, what should we do to mitigate these challenges? Now, let me bring it home. During my opening, it was 27 lecturers that actually left 2 faculties alone in the University of Lagos. Now, we know that the brain drain syndrome is really, really actually dealing with every sector in Nigeria, not just only the education sector. Now, what is ASU doing to make sure that these lecturers or this vacuum that has created does not affect the students in terms of learning?
It's already affecting them because where we are supposed to have like maybe 20 lecturers, you now have only about 5 or 7. And of course, what they are doing now is the 7 will have to take the responsibility of 20. That is heavy load. Heavy load on the lecturer that are not paid, that are not paid any good salary. Frustrating them the more. In fact, what that could even lead to is that there will be more jappers. Because the pressure on them is becoming too unbearable. And these are the same lecturers that they will have to teach, they will have to grade, they will have to write papers before they can get promoted. If you are not a PhD holder here, you have to get a PhD. Too many things on the poor lecturers for peanut. So, ASU in its own position, you remember we went on strike. What have been the reason of ASU, the so-called persistent strike, if we want to call it like that? But I used to say it to Nigerians. It is not ASU that normally goes on strike. It's the federal government of Nigeria that doesn't like the citizens of Nigeria that actually is on strike against the citizens. They are, I can say it, they are using us by proxy. Because after frustrating and deceiving us, they know that we will go on strike. Now, ASU has been saying it. Improve the funding to the university so that university will have money to provide infrastructure to make the place a conducive place for academic activity. We've been on this for several years. Government has always been reluctant. I think the best time that we've ever had was when Jonathan released 200 billion to all, not only university now, to all tertiary institutions, and the money was shared to improve infrastructure. Since then, maybe Buhari was able to give another 30 billion. We allowed the same government promise that when that their own by their own assessment, that the university needs more about 1.2 trillion then. And they divided the money that they have to do it in phases, 5 years, like 220 billion every year.
Every year.
That is the money. They went to sleep. These are part of why ASUU, that's first thing you will see on ASUU demand, university funding. So that we prevent this gap that we are seeing. 2, we've be also been on, consider our salary. What is our own offense? You gave us a salary template that we'll be using since 2009. In that agreement, you agree that this that salary will be reviewed every 3 years. So we are in 2023. My sister, has the salary been improved? They refuse to.
When was the last time it was reviewed?
2009. And that's why it's a professor at Bar. If I open my phone, I show you my payslip. It's nothing secret. A professor at Bar in a federal university, we go home with about 400 total without any deduction, 416,000. I'm sure that is not enough for your cosmetics. So, what else do you want us to do? And instead of listening to us, we went on strike. You heard our salary for 8 months. We are still counting whether they will pay it back. The work they say we've done all the work. Everybody graduated. We are not owing anybody anything. But where is our own salary? So these are the things. Why should someone sit down and see your government frustrating your life? Whereas in other places where they send their own children to, the citizens are almost like pampered. As if to say we are not citizens of the world. As if to say we don't have a nation. And by the way, what is the relevance of governance? Whose only activity is to impose heavy responsibility on the citizens. What are we really gaining from government? Is it good road? Is it good school? Is it good the health system? Tell me one. Is it water? Is it electricity?
As regards
What is our offense?
As regards government children schooling abroad, remember there was a bill that was passed that government children should actually come back and actually school here in the country. Do you think if that bill actually comes back, do you think that will actually improve the standard of education that we have right now? Do you think that is possible?
It's like you are telling the lions to pass a bill that no animal should eat any other animal. How will that work? so like that's to me like a joke. Do we need a bill for that? Have we not been talking about why are people going abroad to take medical care? Though we know health is health. But the point is that why can't my own president or my governor be treated in Nigeria? So, we are in the hand of kind of, sorry for using that word, it's like we are not lucky. We are not lucky citizens. Why is it that all our own leaders is all about, try to siphon us to the bone, to take life out of the citizens? That has always been the program of government.
Okay, I'm going to go back to IPPIS. Now, there is an ongoing development. Now, reports has it that the federal government has exempted universities, polytechnics, colleges of education from IPPIS. Now, what does this actually mean?
Well, let me say this. One is that for the first time now, or at last, the government of President Tinubu has really, and let me salute the sagacity for taking that bold step, has now agree with ASUU that what ASUU has been saying about the inappropriateness of that IPPIS as a payment platform for the university system is now glaring, and then we have been vindicated. The meaning of that is that it's a victory for the autonomy of the university. It's a victory that we will then now be able to take our own university into our own hand. We'll be able to ask questions directly from the people who are saddled with that responsibility, the university council. So, to me, it is one of the best decisions that I've ever seen government taking, at least to be able to come out boldly, to realize that actually what ASUU have been saying is nothing but the truth. That's the way I see
Okay,
it.
so can ASUU actually share insights into the ongoing proposed initiative aimed at retaining and attracting qualified faculty members?
I'm not aware of any initiative. Which
Like,
initiative?
is there a plan for ASUU to do that?
Don't let us also misconstrue things.
Okay.
Then, ASUU is not the government or the administration of any university. ASUU is a trade union. The only little difference here is that being a union of intellectuals, a union of nationalists who are really genuinely concerned about the welfare and the success of the public university system. That makes it now look as if to say ASUU is the one ruling the university, or ASUU is Federal Ministry of Education. We don't know when they don't consult ASUU when they appoint anybody to become minister. We are not part of the university administration, but we know we are great stakeholder and we can raise questions. So in consultation, tell at the departmental level and the rest of them, yes, ASUU member are the one there. But ASUU is not acting as a union there. We put our mouth when we see that things are not going well. But one of them is this building we'll be talking, that if the government will not reverse its decision by ignoring the university system, what they want to do is to kill the system. And we are putting pressure, we are shouting about it every day, that the government must start funding, declare this education sector as a very important and very cogent sector of development of this nation, and make the university represent what it's supposed to represent, and not this caricature. That's our own contribution. That's our own way of putting pressure. We've gone on strike. We've been punished for this. And I repeat it, they are owing us 8 months' salary. One of the reasons why we went on strike is this IPPIS, that the government now realized that actually it was a mistake. I just hope that the president, just the way he was magnanimous to take this bold decision, will also be magnanimous to take the bold decision to go back to the other two challenges, to the other issues affecting university. Serious funding is needed. The academic, our suspended agreement before it should be signed. The withheld salary should be signed. The promises made on payment of EAA should be revisited. And then you will see that I can bet you, if they start doing that, many of the people that just left will come back to Nigeria. I can bet you. Nigerians love Nigeria, they love their nation. And that's why you even see after being successful abroad, they want to return home. The citizens of this nation are patriotic enough. Improve that system. Do 4 things that I've just mentioned. I can bet you you will see many of the people that have left will return back here. That's the way I
Now,
see it.
because of our time, I'd just like to ask one question before we actually let you go. In light of this, the brain drain and the IPPIS factor.
Okay.
Now, what do you think, or how do you think it can be resolved? So much so that retirements and the absence of replacement, because we know that lecturers do retire and we've not been able to replace those vacuum. What do you think, or how do you think that can be resolved in terms of brain drain and the IPPIS system?
Let me tell you one thing. Now that the IPPS has been removed, some sanity, especially about employment, will return back to the university. Hitherto, it has been that you want to recruit, you go to IPPS office to go and negotiate. And when I say negotiate, you know the meaning. I need 100 staff. Okay, make it 150. And most of the university administrator will not like to do that. And so, in some cases, things are stopped. Now that the university seems that it will regain its autonomy back, the appointment of academic staff, especially in University of Lagos, if I'm using it as an example, is the responsibility of Senate. So the system will return to normal, and we'll be able to look at our department again and say, look, how do we do it? Let's put adverts. Let's see whether we can be able to recruit some people. We will not need to go to discredited IPPIS for permission, because the whole thing now will be within our university system. And then we might be able to have some bit of hope.
Okay, is there any final words you would like to say before we wrap this up?
Well, the final thing I will say, let me recap what I said. I'm using the medium to say, look, thank you, President, Mr. President. Thank you for, confirming what ASUU has said about uselessness of IPPIS. Now we want to employ you. Just the same way you took this bold step. Please go back to the paper before you. The proposed salary, the agreement, the 8-month, the delay EA that was put into budget but was never implemented. Help us look into that and take this same bold step and let the Nigerian lecturer that have left, I can bet you they will return back to this nation, and we will have more interesting people who will like to use their brain to teach and develop this nation for the future.
Wow, thank you so much, Prof. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and that's how far we can go on the program for today. It's been a pleasure speaking with Professor Kayode Adebayo, the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Lagos branch. Do join us next week for another exciting episode, and remember to follow us across all social media platforms at Unilag on TV. I am Vina Peters. Bye for now.